Are you tired of trying to memorize just endless lists of French words only to forget them like a week later? Well, you're in exactly the right place. In the next few minutes, we're going to break down a really simple, layered strategy that will completely change how you build and, more importantly, how you remember your French vocabulary.
Does this look familiar? I mean, you've got the flashcards, you've got the apps, you've got lists, but you just feel totally overwhelmed. It's like for every single word you learn, there are 100 more just waiting in line. And that's not even mentioning all the grammar rules. It's a really common feeling, but I promise it doesn't have to be your reality.
You know, the key to really breaking through this feeling is to shift your focus. We're going to move away from trying to memorize the entire dictionary, which is impossible, by the way, and move toward a much smarter, way more efficient way of learning the words that actually matter. It's all about building in layers.
So let's start with the big one, the question every language learner asks. What should I learn first, grammar or vocabulary? It's a classic debate, right? But the answer is actually pretty clear.
The linguist David A. Wilkins just nailed it with this quote. He said, "Without grammar, very little can be conveyed. Without vocabulary, nothing can be conveyed." Think about that. Grammar gives you the structure, sure, but the words, they're the actual building blocks. Without them, you literally can't say anything. They are the absolute foundation.
Okay, now this is where the fun really begins, because I've got some fantastic news for you. You already know hundreds of French words. I'm serious, even if you don't realize it yet. This is your built-in head start.
We're talking about cognates, and the French have this totally charming name for them, les vrais amis, which means true friends. And that's exactly what they are, these amazing little shortcuts on your learning journey. They're words you can recognize instantly.
And it is so simple. You have perfect cognates, which are spelled exactly the same, like table or fruit. And then you have these near-perfect ones with just tiny little spelling changes, like aventure for adventure, or musique for music. It makes sense, right? Nearly a third of all English words actually have French origins. So just by spotting these, your vocabulary just explodes.
And on top of that, you've got loan words. Modern French is absolutely full of them. Words like le weekend and le sandwich have been borrowed directly from English. That gives you even more words you don't even have to learn. It's a freebie.
Okay, so you found all your true friends. The next layer is all about getting strategic. We're going to focus your energy where it's going to have the biggest impact, on the words you will actually use every single day.
I want you to look at this number, 300. Now, it might not sound like a lot, but trust me, this is the magic number. And these aren't just any 300 words. They are the most frequently used, most common words in the entire French language. And this is why that number is so incredibly powerful. With just 100 of these core words, you can handle basic conversations. But when you get to 300, you can understand an unbelievable 65% of everyday spoken French. That is just incredible bang for your buck. It's all about maximum comprehension for minimum memorization.
Words like these are your absolute bread and butter. Bonjour, merci, oui, je suis. When you master these essentials first, it means you can start communicating and understanding stuff right away. And that builds momentum and, most importantly, confidence.
All right, once you have that core down, you can move to the next level. Because language isn't just about trading information, it's about connection. And this is my favorite part, learning the fun, cultural phrases that make you sound less like a textbook and a lot more like a real person.
Okay, check out this fantastic phrase. Imagine saying this to a French friend. J'ai la patate.
Which literally translates to I have the potato. A little weird, right?
But what it really means is I'm full of energy. Using a phrase like this is so cool because it shows you're actually engaging with the culture, and it is a guaranteed way to get a smile.
Okay, here's another great one you will hear all the time. It's super simple, really charming, and very, very useful. C'est chouette.
And the literal translation of that, it's owl. Again, beautifully strange, and that's what makes it memorable.
It's just a common way to say, that's great, or that's cool. And remember, French speakers really appreciate it when you make an effort to use phrases like these. It shows respect and genuine interest, even if your pronunciation isn't absolutely perfect.
So you know what to learn, but the million-dollar question is, how do you make it all stick? This brings us to our final and maybe the most crucial part, a simple, science-backed system for locking all these new words into your long-term memory.
It's a really simple 4-step system.
First, you're going to chunk related words together, so learn all the fruit words at the same time. Second, space it out. Don't cram. Review your words every few days. Third, visualize. When you learn the word palm, actually picture a bright red apple. And finally, the most important step, use it in context. Put that new word into a sentence right away. That's the step that truly locks it in for good.
So there you have it. That's the entire strategy. You start with vocabulary as your foundation. You use those awesome shortcuts like cognates to get a huge head start. You focus on that high-frequency core for maximum impact. You add in fun phrases that create a real connection, and you use a simple system to make it all stick.
So now the question isn't just about what words you're going to learn, but how you're going to use them. It's all about starting a conversation, maybe sharing a laugh, and building a bridge. So, what's the first phrase you're going to use to make a connection?